Hi, this is Mary Beth Kuhn with Teaching and Learning Technologies, and we would like to thank you for volunteering your time to come and help test the Moodle 4.5 upgrade and features. This overview will provide some information on what you can expect during your time with us. Moodle will be upgraded from version 4.1 to 4.5 on May 14th between the end of spring term and the beginning of summer A term. This type of upgrade is known as a long-term supported upgrade, which for Moodle seems to cycle every 2 years. For instance, our last long-term upgrade was in 2023. All testing is done on a completely independent server or copy of Moodle and has no impact or effect on any of your courses on the production or live server that all NAS faculty, students, and staff use. Along with this video overview of what to expect, you have been provided with the following items for testing: a unique login to access the test server, at least one test course that you will find on your Moodle 4.5 dashboard. Please note that if you have already requested to have one of your existing courses copied, you will also find that in addition to the test course on the Moodle 4.5 dashboard. Finally, you've been provided with a link to a unique testing checklist to use as a guide and provide feedback. More details to follow on that shortly. When you log into the Moodle test server during our session, you should expect to see that the current look and feel is slightly different right now. As we continue to test and update the system, we are also in the process of setting up our Nazareth branding. Overall, things appear very much the same. However, there are a few differences in light of the upgrade, and we are currently working towards matching the theme closely to the current Moodle environment that faculty and students are used to. For example, you'll notice that currently the course navigation and activity icons do look a bit different. Our ITS web development team is working with us to best match our existing look and feel, so this will continue to evolve before we officially upgrade to 4.5. The testing checklist that you are provided for the session targets both common day-to-day course tasks and specifically some of the new feature enhancements for Moodle 4.5. We ask that with each task, you use the drop-down checklist to confirm completion for the specific browser you are using. If you encounter any questions or issues, we ask that you make a note of it in the corresponding text box. You're not expected to test in more than one browser for the purposes of your session, but you are welcome to do so. If you do not see something on the task list that you frequently do or use, a space has been provided for you to make notations. If there are tasks on the list that you don't normally use, you are free to skip it. Note that in your test course, you will notice that a few sample assignments with test student submissions have already been loaded for purposes of certain tasks. There are a few navigational changes I wanted to highlight for you here. Course pages now have the option for you and the students to do single section viewing. Under a bullseye icon to the right of the section title, users can drill down into a section and advance through each section without having to necessarily always jump back to the main page if they prefer not to. When in edit mode, permalinks are also available. For example, if you want to link directly to a specific section or folder on the main course page from a forum post or the assignment's instructions, you can more easily create a link to that content. Essentially, anywhere you have access to the rich text editor in Moodle, you can create these permalinks. When you go into an assignment, you will notice that View All Submissions can now be found on the assignments menu bar rather than as a button. The Grade button now appears where View All Submissions used to appear. This grade button will jump you right into grading student submissions. If you go to the View All Submissions page, the same options can be found here, but some placement has changed. For example, all filtering options are now at the top. You can search students by specific names. You can filter by name, which is the filtering you're probably most familiar with from the current version. And all other filtering options are placed here at the top. To begin grading from the submissions page, you'll select the drop-down menu in the grade column. This is no longer a button, obviously. This grading page interface is pretty much the same. In this example, you're not seeing anything appear because there's no submission, so it does look blank for this example. You'll notice too that certain functions are under a bulk edit interface. As I begin to select student names, an additional menu appears at the bottom. For example, under the More menu here, some options such as extending a deadline, reverting a submission to a draft are here, and uploading bulk feedback are here. You'll also find the bulk download as well here. This task list does not cover every single change, but we attempted to highlight the most commonly used features, the things that we felt were most important to direct your attention to for the purposes of the Moodle 4.5 upgrade. At the top of this task list, however, you'll find some resource links. These will direct your attention to the Moodle pages for teachers on all of the updates that have occurred since our last long-term upgrade. At any point during the session, if you have any questions, please let us know. We certainly appreciate you testing with us and look forward to seeing you at the session.